You have any funny stories?
I mean, every day is a fun story. I've always approached just the kitchen life is, I mean, jobs in general, if they're not fun, I don't want anything to do with them. So, I mean, off the top of my head, I could probably tell you, just everything's an inside joke in the kitchen. I don't know. I don't know if there's a funny story, but the guys that I've always worked with, the girls I've worked with, I take it very lightly. I take myself very lightly. The work I take very seriously, but every day it's just a fun story. 3 times a week I'll be down in the basement with the coworkers, and we'll just be cooking and laughing. At one point we'll just go, this isn't a job. This doesn't feel like work. Even though we're working and we're creating product and we're doing something at a high level, we're having a blast because life is not meant to be taken too seriously.
It's okay. Can you throw this? Yes, sir. Pretty light, right? Yeah. You're good. Thanks. Yeah.
What's the worst thing you can hear when you're giving Willie Nelson a blowjob? I'm not Willie Nelson.
Yeah, that's a pretty terrible one.
No, it's not a good joke to tell to everybody.
Hi, what's your name?
CJ Callahan.
Where are you from, CJ?
Born in Arkansas, moved here from Chicago.
How you doing?
I'm great, man. Spokane's growing on me. No, Spokane is charming. It was hard at first, but you really can't compare anything to. I had a decade in Chicago. There's not a whole lot you can compare to that. I like to cook food that makes you feel good. Grew up in the South, so I mean, the easy answer is comfort food, but it's beyond that. I like to cook what you want. I like to eat biscuits and gravy and fried chicken. But whatever you want, as the person I'm cooking for, I want to cook that, and I want to cook it better than you've had it before.
That
dude. That's fucking.
Oh, he makes the best bagels, dude.
Dude, you make the best bagels.
He really does.
Thank you.
Boom.
Well, I've been cooking since I was a child. My parents, we fend for ourselves. Both my parents work, so we had to make our own food. But I've been in the kitchen since I was 15. It's 22 years. That's all I really know how to do. That's all I want to do. So no, I don't have any particular fun story. It's just that every day has to be fun, or it's not fucking worth it. Although I did make fun of a guy who had a reading disorder, and I taught this Mexican dishwasher to say the phrase "you can't read." And while he was in the middle of fucking up a recipe, I asked him if he needed help from the dishwasher, and the dishwasher looked at him and just goes, "You can't read," and he got really upset. But everybody laughed at him. That was just kind of mean, not funny.
A naughty fry. Why is he bringing in kimchi fries? It comes with the sandwich.
I mean, everybody learned to cook in their own different ways. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't compare my style to my mother because she's a good cook, but I mean, she was definitely the heart of my love for food. There's a guy that I worked with named Wade, Turnipseed, and I worked with him when I was in college, and he's one of the first people that taught me about different techniques and flavors. He's a southern dude, and so he taught me the basics of, biscuit baking and gravies, just the joys of things from the garden and how to make things just make you feel good. Like, I learned a lot from him through that. And I think my cooking style mostly reflects him because he was one of the first people to really get into my brain that, it's not just microwaving food or dropping food in a fryer or, cooking hamburgers. There's a whole bunch of different techniques. I learned how to make soups from him, which is one of the most soulful things you can do. And I think I've carried that style throughout my entire life. It wasn't so much of a science or an art or a high class thing. It was just like, we need to make this food, we need to make it taste good.
Fries.
Bagel.
Bony. Or
No sausage.
What do you?
What is that?
From scratch, start to finish, when I prepare something, I want the finished product to be the person who's kind of holding their stomach with a smile, just they taste the difference in, the different steps that you took compared to what they had it, maybe they had it before a different way that was either an instant version or a not so technique driven version, and then they have it like, oh man, I've never had it like that before. And that's my style, I think, is you always take the extra step. You can always do one more thing to make it fantastic and delicious. I learned from a carpenter a long time ago, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. And he told me that when I was like 8, trying to nail, a fucking floor down or some shit. And I was doing it horribly, and he was like, you do it this way or you don't do it at all. And I was like, worth doing right, huh? And that stuck with me my entire life. Like, there's no reason to do something the wrong way when you can do it the right way. Drink beers, find the water when you can, sit outside, watch movies, hang out with my girlfriend. Eat. I mostly eat when I'm not working. I don't eat when I work, it's weird. But if I get a day off, I'm probably eating 12 hours of that day. Just going around. I like to give back to the community. I like to be a regular at places, bars, restaurants. I like conversing with the industry. Everyone likes talking to bartenders, but I think I really like it more. I think all I want people to remember is that I was a fun dude and I cared about what I did. Like I was talking to you earlier, like every day I would have to have some reason, a purpose, a goal, something to fix, something to accomplish before I get out. And I mean, to me, that's what it means to give it a go. It's like you have to motivate yourself. Because, I mean, if you're not like super rich or privileged, you know, sometimes it's hard. The world's a dark, dark place. You have to find a way to make it enjoyable. But you find common ground with everybody. You're around people more than you're around your family.
Yeah.
You either bond or you fight. And someone has to leave. Today I'm making the 23rd best banh mi ever. Took some pork bellies and cured them in lemongrass and ginger for 3 days. Slow roasted those. It's gonna go on a Vietnamese style baguette that I've been working on that. And we're just gonna spread chicken liver pate, which took about 4 days to make as well, because you soak it in bourbon and maple syrup and milk, and then bake it with eggs and cream. It's really rich and delicious. And then it's going to go with some head cheese that also took about 4 days to make. Pickled daikon and carrots and jalapenos and cilantro and sesame seeds and fish sauce aioli, and it's fucking delicious. I've had banh mi's everywhere. Not a lot of places do them justice. As far as Spokane goes, I hope that they know that they live in a pretty good town for the food that's available to them. For a town this size, the food scene, which you had a lot to do with, is pretty impressive. And it's growing. Progress takes a lot of time, especially like with food and the culinary scene. People don't seem to understand what goes into food. Good food, not just name any chain restaurant or, you know, ho-hum mediocre establishment. But I would think Spokane needs to understand that they have a lot going on and they need to go out and support the people that are working their asses off to bring that food. And I'm here to help move it forward. Like we said earlier, like I'm not reinventing any wheels. I just want to make them rounder, and I want Spokane's food scene to just really pop off. And it's on that way. And I want to be an integral part of it, part of its community. And over the years, you know, we build something good that we can keep moving forward. I've been doing this long enough. Try to bring up the next generation of creative, passionate chefs, because otherwise we're not doing any good. I think that's important.
That was good.
Sorry, bud. Oh, here.